Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, this is just a little small ceremony to inaugurate, or as it happens to unveil, a bench in memory of Patrick. Anne it is who's made this possible, and we're very grateful to her, both because it's a good thing, a nice thing for us to have for the college, and also because it's a nice thing that we can commemorate Patrick, who is almost the last of our fellows who was a fellow before the college existed. He was the penultimate one to die. We all have our own memories of Patrick, and a bench is wholly inadequate to reflect all of those things. I have to say, having a bench here helps me remember Patrick, because I think every memory I have of him is in the dining hall and the common room. It was talking to him over lunch, talking to him after lunch, and he was always one of the most interesting people that we could talk with. It's very good that we're able to be here with people from different parts of his life, from the family, from his work, and from the college. So it's only a small memento for Patrick, but I hope it's a lasting one. So Anne, you will say a few words, and then it can be for sure.
Well, if you're fortunate enough to live long enough, you look back a bit on your life and you think about people who really made a big difference in your life. And Patrick Echlin was one of those for me. I was at a really exciting time in my career, but a very heartbreaking time in my personal life, because my husband had been just diagnosed with a terminal illness. So I came to Cambridge because we had a conversation, and he said, "You must come to Cambridge." So I came, and what Patrick did was, first of all, I had known him already for 10 years, and we shared a love for plants, for nature, and it wasn't something we had to talk about, it was just there. So when I came to England, he not only introduced me to the college, but to England. And we traveled on weekends to north, south, east, west. I mean, it was wonderful. And as a sponsor, he made possible something very unusual, which was he made a place for me in a department, the History and Philosophy of Science. And that was a lateral move from the ultrastructural world that was common to both of us, but it was a natural expansion of a lot of things that I had done. So he was very, very understanding of that and very helpful. And then as a sponsor, he really made it clear to me what was the richness of the experience here at Clare Hall, and what was yours for the taking if you would just introduce yourself and say, "Hello, my name is," and this is what I do. What do you do? So that's Clare Hall. So thank you, Patrick, for introducing me to something that's just opened so many doors for me, and continues to every time I come here. So.
I'm just going to say a few words. I'm Shirley Echlin, Patrick's wife, and welcome to this dedication of this lovely bench to the memory of Patrick. I'm saying lovely bench, you haven't seen it yet. We hold ourselves in suspense. And we have to thank, as you already heard, Anne Goldstein, her generosity in providing the funds for this bench. Anne and Patrick's connections go back a long, long way. I think he first knew Anne as she was the president of the Microscopy Society of America, and Patrick held an honorary fellowship in this organisation. And later he suggested that she might like to come, as you've been hearing, like to come to Cambridge to visit. And become a life member of Clare Hall. And Patrick, as you heard, has actually sponsored Anne. I met Anne way back in the United States and subsequently, Patrick, Anne and I became good friends. So, Patrick and I journeyed with Anne all over the place, like Wales, Isle of Wight, you name it. We've been, loads of different places. And I've got to say, Patrick would have really enjoyed this bench located in the gardens of Clare Hall, where people can sit in tranquility and enjoy looking at plants. Because I remember, now I've got my grandson here, who actually said when he was a student at NYU, he was walking next to me and Patrick was walking behind, and I remember Charlie saying, when I finish this degree, Grandma, I haven't got a clue what I'm going to do. And I used to remember saying to Charlie, you and millions of other students don't actually know what they're going to do with their lives. It depends on what opportunities occur, and you may change career, never mind. Just because your grandfather knew from the age of sort of 8 or 9 he wanted to be a scientist, he's just one of very, very few people like that. So, don't listen to him, realise that you're part of the general population. And as a retired member of the Department of Plant Sciences, he would have really approved of this appropriate gift. So once again, I'd like to say a big thank you to Anne and Clare Hall, and hope we can all often sit on this chair and admire the view here of Clare Hall's lovely garden. Thank you.
Shirley, would you like to do the unveiling?
Yes.
I hope it's not a very heavy veil.
Flick of this.
Push it to the back.
Ta-da! Drum roll.
Oh, the trumpets. Oh my word. Wow.
Yes. Beautiful.
Really lovely.
This is probably not the occasion that we should drink a toast to Patrick, but we might just have a drink in his memory.
Yes, definitely.